worshipped in two different mountains. They were not friends. They very much disliked each other. The Jews were known to call Samaritan dogs, because that was how badly they dealt with each other. Kind of reminds me sometimes of Canterbury and Gulf. They just didn't get along. And so because they split their history from way back in the Jerusalem post-exilic days when the temple was destroyed, the Jews and the Samaritans didn't get along. So for Jesus to come along and to decide that he was going through Samaria, it meant a whole heap to the people of the day. Not only that, Jesus decided that he was not just going to Samaria, he was going there for a woman. Men didn't talk to women in those days in that kind of way. And especially because Jesus was what they call a rabbi, a teacher. He was not permitted to talk to married women without their husbands being pregnant. It was against the culture of the day. So all of this was very strange that was going on. From the very beginning, the whole setup was a very strange setup. But I would like you to look with me at from a completely different perspective at this scripture. I would like you to look to the fact that the night before this woman left town to go out to the well, what do you think she was doing? Having read the entire scripture, having known her background, what do you think this woman was doing? The very night before the woman went into the presence and met Jesus Christ, the woman was laying down with a man who was not even her husband. She was coming directly from the bed of sin. This woman's background said that she was sinful and she was corned. She was not a very nicely loved woman of the town from which she originated. The Bible tells us all of this, and if you read it thoroughly, you will understand that we can garner all of this based on how dear John wrote. He said that the woman, when she met Jesus, she had had 5 husbands, and the man she was sleeping with at that time was not even her husband. Many theologians are asking the question, I wonder if he was somebody else's husband. But the Bible specified that the man she was with right now was not her husband. So that means the night before this woman got up and went to meet the Christ, the Son of the living God, this woman was lying in the bed of adultery and fornication. Because she was a sinner. And that's what you expect from sinners. You expect sin. Until you meet Jesus Christ and see him face to face, until you've had a confrontation with the Son of God himself, all that sinners will do is sin. And so this woman the night before, her life was going on just the way it normally went. And so the morning she got up, and she was not a popular woman. She was not one of the nice, dignified ladies of society. So she got up the morning, and I guess like every other woman, because people don't change, only time change, but people really don't change. So that's like every other woman, the woman get up, make up bed, and start clean house. She got up, she cleaned house. She did all the things that she needed to do as a woman. Wash clothes, hang them out. Like some of us Sunday morning, we get up, do every garden, everything, and come to church tired. Come in the presence of the Lord to sleep. This lady got up. She didn't know that she was going to meet Jesus, the Son of God, that day. She got up, she cleaned house, she washed, she cooked, she did what she had to do. And when all the other ladies got up from early morning to go and get their water, because that was the culture. Who in the world is going to get up and in the middle of the day, you gone down the well, going to get water? But because she was not a popular woman, because everybody knew that she keep other people's husbands, she didn't have many friends in that day. It was cultural for when the ladies go to get water from the well, that a group of them would go. In case anything happened, there was a group of ladies As she walked by, she waited until everybody else was in bed sleeping. Because for those of you who don't know, at that time, people have what is called a siesta. You know, they go middle of the day, they go and have a little nap. So she waited because she was not a loved woman. Because her lifestyle wasn't wonderful. She waited until the sun was high and the rest of the town was sleeping. And then she picked up her water pot and she started to Jim Squeegee out of town so that they couldn't look down on her for who she is. Sometimes we are people who our lifestyles aren't wonderful, but we forget that Jesus knows all about my struggles. He will guide till the day is done. There is not a friend like the lowly Jesus. No, not one. No, not one. We forget that no matter what people think of us, and sometimes they have a right to think what they think, we forget though that Jesus Christ is a merciful Jesus. We forget that no matter where we're coming from or what we have done, He is still waiting for us. Waiting for us to walk to the well, waiting for us to recognize that we need Him. This year I need some Christians to recognize that they need Jesus. Many Christians think it's God need them. Some of us, let me say us, let me personalize it. Some of us think God need us. Some of us think that if we are not there, things can't go on. Some of us think that, boy, if I don't do what I'm going to do, things will just fall apart. There's no such thing. Some of us think that God cannot do without us. Some of us believe that because we give a good offering, our behavior can be disgraceful and the church still have to put up with it. Some of us believe that because our father know the pastor, our pastor know you, that we can dress